Hi, everybody. I'm Willem.
And I'm Tim.
And this is a very much long-awaited episode of Hear Me Out Pitch. It's been a month, and we lost the last episode, so technically this is a repeat of 105. So, and now I'm all like paranoid. Let's see what everyone sounds like. Hello?
Hello?
All right. We sound echoey. Do we sound echoey? We do.
A little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. But it's because it's a new apartment. Hooray!
It's a new setup.
A new setup, and we have nothing behind us. You can see like the cord for the lights above it, and you can see like the curtain behind Tim. We'll get it better. We'll figure it out. But
at some point we'll have these. They're the sound panels. We'll have these
so
all over so that
it's
not so echoey.
It's nice to find something dedicated, place where I can record my voice. I want to get another monitor in here, and I'm really excited for this. So I just booped something. So I am moved. Tim had to take the long drive over here today.
It was like 5 minutes, guys. It was so long
compared to a 30-second walk.
Willem might need to reimburse me for gas. I don't know.
in this economy, honestly, that'd be terrible. That's probably
over
like
4 per gallon. It's ridiculous. No.
That's why I just go to Costco. But hello, everybody. We've missed you a lot.
I do need to apologize real quick. I'm still getting over a little bit of a head cold. So I might sound a little bit sick. I might cough every now and again. I just got this like itchy spot in my throat that won't go away.
And also everything's weird. We're in an echoey room and we're a lot closer. Like me and Tim can couldn't do that the last place. So
they didn't see.
They didn't see, but they could hear it. They could feel it. We high-fived. So
and then get fist bump.
And fist bump. So it's all good. Fist my bump. Project Hail Mary, I just got to say, did you see it?
I didn't.
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't. But
so you haven't seen Hail Mary and I haven't seen Mario. So we need to both cross it off. Did you like Mario? You liked it, right? We'll do a quick little movie thing. How was it?
Super Mario Galaxy.
Was it better than the first?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I grew up playing the Super Mario Galaxy games, right?
I did not.
Those were those 2 games plus the Super Mario Wii and Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. Those were the 4 Super Mario games I grew up with. Obviously, I also played other Mario games like Paper Mario. Thousand Year Door is my favorite Mario game in the entire franchise, but that's beside the point. I grew up playing the Galaxy games, and they were a lot of fun. I'd play the second one with my brother, and he'd be the Luma, or every now and again we'd switch off, and I had to be the Luma, and it sucked. But they were just so much fun, and they were some of the only games that weren't Zelda games that I have beaten 100%. Because I enjoyed them that much. And the movie, the first movie was really good. It set up kind of the world and it set up the characters and gave us the references that pushed us forward, and it was fun. The first movie is really good. It is shelf worthy. I am willing to buy it. The second one, I think it's just because I played the crap out of the Galaxy games, but I liked the second one more because the references in that movie were a little bit more directed at those games.
So it was kind of like if you played the game, you get the reference.
Yes.
That's exactly how Project Hail Mary was, and The Martian were with the books and the new movie.
I did read and watch The Martian.
Okay. And you love that one.
Yes.
I think that both stories are better. That's my opinion. I think that The Martian is wonderful. I still think it's I cry every time. I think I cry harder in the movie though because we get to see the rescue instead of just kind of hearing it and his Iron Man moment. But and a few of the liberties they did to change, kind of making the captain more of like she wants to make up for leaving Mark. Like loved it. And with this movie, very much similar. A few liberties changed, a few things just to make it simple. But I think I was crying the whole time. And as someone, and I definitely wanted to make a video for these guys about it because as someone who, it's a story about being brave and being pushed to, and oh my gosh, I just realized what your shirt is. So it's just funny. So just about being brave. So, but honestly, it's good to see people going to the theaters. And honestly, we're not done this year. We have so many more coming. I told Tim at the beginning of the year, I was like, can we talk about the movies coming out this year? And Tim was like, yeah, but Tim's not big movie theater guy. That's not true.
I am. I'm just sick of Marvel.
That's true.
And I know, like this is supposed to be Avengers, and it's kind of going back to our roots. But I'm after Endgame, I'm just kind of done with Marvel.
I'm not talking more about like Dune, and honestly, like Marvel's a bone.
I haven't watched any of Dune.
Oh my gosh, Tim!
Movies. I haven't read it.
And for someone who loves Anakin Skywalker,
it is on my list.
It is on my list. It's a movie just for you.
It's on my list. My big issue with Dune is there's only a handful of 3+ hour movies that I want to watch, and I just watched Lord of the Rings this week. So
that is fair, and I will say though they don't feel like it, like Oppenheimer, one of those. Anyway, so but I'm just happy about movies, and I'm happy that this is done, and hopefully a schedule starts getting picked up, and we will see some changes, especially now that I don't feel so
stressed out about moving.
Yeah, and also it just feels nice to like walk in this room, and this room I purely dedicate. When I saw the layout of this apartment, I was like, this is gonna be my office, and over there is just all my books like right next to us, but this room is basically just going to be for recording, and I'm going to make it better. I've been thinking about ways to do that, but that's going to be for later when I save up the money. But anyway, so I guess what are we going to talk about? We have a few things on the docket, and I know you guys are like, oh, you guys don't know what we're talking about. Well, most likely there's options, and also you guys are clicking on a title, so you guys are going to know about it. So good for future you guys. So whatever.
Well, the two options that I had, there's one. So I've got a very bare bones plan for a story, and then the other one is a single word. So I'll go with the word first.
Okay.
This single word is Sonder. What Sonder is it's the realization that the people around you are living as vivid of a life as you are. It's that recognition that all of us are main characters in our stories, not just NPCs.
Is that really what Sonder means?
Yeah.
I thought Sonder. I'm thinking of, is it saunter? When you're kind of...
Yeah, saunter is kind of the
mopey late. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Somber is kind of
down and mopey
and sad. Sonder is that recognition that other people are living as vivid and as real of a life as you. Yeah.
So it's kind of like the opposite of a sociopath?
Kind of.
Okay.
So the thing with Sonder, the idea that I had, and I'm planning a book for it right now already, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with it. The idea would be that it would be a chapter. You know, every chapter would be from a different perspective. And so you've got your timeline, and your timeline moves forward. And so in chapter 1, we're following Joe Bob. And Joe Bob is doing his thing, and he walks into the coffee shop, and bumps elbows with Brock. Chapter 2 is from Brock's perspective, moving forward, continuing the same timeline.
Okay, you are making the cutest slice of life anime idea I've ever heard in my life. Seriously, that's a slice of life anime that this is, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of our Mount Vesuvius. No, Pompeii. Our Pompeii story.
Yeah,
very much.
It would work really well for Pompeii.
It's what is that called? The story is, it's not like I will have to look up the word. I don't want to try to, you guys know I'm bad with words, but the word is like, it's just a bunch of stories that go at the same, it's exactly what Tim's explaining, and I think that's cute. I think that's really cute.
Mm-hmm. The idea that I had, it has to revolve around a specific event. And there's a couple events that I can think of that are tragedies. There's one in particular that happened the year I was born. There's a couple others that aren't tragedies. They're just big world events. For example, the moon landing would be another good one.
Did you watch any of the Artemis 2 mission at all? And like kind of go, it was so awesome. And it was really cool to really see that and, remind ourselves that humanity can break barriers and reach out to the stars. So yeah. I loved it.
I've seen the memes.
The memes are great.
Are great. The Earth is round. We checked.
We double checked. But I think I will say that one of the best stories similar to this that I've seen, it was the World War Z. And the movie was great. Like that's a zombie movie. That is, in my opinion, one of the, I think it's good to watch once. To me, it is one of the best zombie movies. It is the perfect, this is nuts. But the book, and specifically the audio book, like Mark Hamill, is one of the narrators in this thing.
Oh, okay.
So he does a good job, but it goes through all of these just separate stories, and it goes back to some people, but you get that. So no, I think that type of story I think it's a good idea. I don't know how we would tackle. I think we basically already tackled that sort of story with the Pompeii, which I definitely think that would be one that I would try to get a cast and record, because that one had a lot of potential, and I'll try to find a link for it. But so you just got all of that idea from the word Sonder. I was scrolling Facebook, and one of my friends follows a guy that talks about, fancy English words to make your vocabulary better. And that was one of the videos that I came across. He talked about Sonder, and I'm like, ooh. Well,
ooh.
Tim, I think instead I want to challenge you with this then, and I think this might be the point, because I'm also in kind of a villain mood after watching Invincible, which for anyone who's watching
a villain mood, I've got my second idea.
Well, my idea is the challenge would be, what would be a villain that is the epitome of they to themselves are the main character? Like, imagine a villain that just everyone is, and I know that's like, well, that's just a general narcissist. No. He just sees everyone as, it's not like he sees them as like henchmen. He just sees them as like, what's the opposite of somber? No, Sonder. So to sonder is to recognize that other people have their own lives. It's when you look at a person, like you see the person on the bus or the bus driver, and you go, that man's going to go home. That man could have a loving family who loves him. Like, that's the thing. Sonder is recognizing that everyone is an individual.
I'd probably say arrogance.
Okay.
I've never watched The Boys, but Homelander comes to mind.
Yes. Okay, then you know what? Yeah, I guess that really just solves the answer, because for anyone who's watching Invincible, some people might say, oh, it's General Thrag, the Regent Thrag, who's the leader of this. Basically, they are scarier versions of Kryptonians in every way. And people might say, oh, he very much thinks about everything to a weird degree. Like I generally, this was probably one of the best episodes of Invincible I ever watched. And he is probably, and you know, when people are like, oh, this character isn't going to live up to the hype. Why is he so scary? He hasn't done anything. Have you ever watched or read anything and the villain actually, you know, in the video games where you go up to the boss at the very beginning, you're like, I'm going to do it. And they humble you. Imagine that for this whole season's been building up and they just got smacked around and we have one more episode left. And I'm like, what's going on? So I think with that conclusion is, I guess we're going to go with your bare bone story. But that was a fun discussion on Sonder.
Yeah. And if you guys have any other single words like Sonder that you're like, that could be a really cool concept, like the definition of that word would be a really cool concept as a story, let us know, please.
Because I
think, honestly, like Sonder being a story would be so cool.
I think, like, I remember there was another podcast that talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender, which, one more random tangent. Did you hear about the leaks?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Someone leaked the whole movie that's coming out in October. The whole thing.
Jeez.
It's out there. And people are making edits and clips. And I have to say that I have seen a few things. And even though I'm not too happy.
You brought it up. Now I'm...
No, that's good. That's good. So, but I will say I'm not the biggest fan of the voice acting changes. I do think some of them are doing pretty good. Ironically, Invincible, the actor who plays the main character, Invincible, plays Zuko now, and he does a good job. It just sounds like someone said it sounds like someone did a dubbing from, you know, someone dubbed it over. That's what it sounds like to me. But the animation looks good. I don't know what's going on, but it makes me excited. But Paramount, drop it in theaters now that it's been leaked. Drop it in theaters. That's all I'm going to say. I'll go see it. I would. I would.
It's Avatar.
My money's.
It's The Last Airbender.
They look so good, Tim.
I will go see it in theaters.
They look so good. I just don't want to stream it only. I want to go watch it in theaters. That show is so beloved. Anyway, that's just... What were we talking about? The bare bones.
my second story idea.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. Last tangent. That was my last tangent.
My second story idea. Did you ever read The Magic Thief?
I heard about it, but I never read it.
Okay. So there's a book out there called The Magic Thief. I read it back in probably 6th grade, maybe middle school.
Gotta be. You know what? The 5th grade, 6th grade books that you read just stay with you forever. Lemony Snicket's.
Deltora Quest.
I saw that one.
Oh, okay. Magic Thief. Essentially, the story is where a boy named Khan, I can't remember his full name, but he's a thief. He's a boy living in the streets. He's a thief. He pickpockets. And at some point he steals a little pendant from a wizard. And that pendant gives the wizard access to magic. In D&D terms, it's his focus, his magic focus. The boy steals it, and the wizard has to cast a spell to prevent the magic focus from killing the boy. And there's this whole thing, and the idea that a thief can steal magic was an idea that kind of hit me, and I'm like, ooh, that could be fun. So this story idea, I don't want it to be a good versus evil thing. I don't want it to be a clear, this is the good guy, we got to root for him. I want it to be, this is a thief in the underground, and he is doing what he can to survive, and then maybe a little bit more to get back at the people that put him where he's at. So the idea would be, this is a world where, to put it a little bit more simply, there are people who have access to magic, and they would be, in D&D terms, sorcerers. They have innate spells that they're able to use, and not every sorcerer has the same spells. Some spells manifest to different sorcerers and they get more powerful over time, and some of them are reality changing, and some spells are just prestidigitation. I'm cleaning my underpants with the snap of my fingers. Right? Like there's fireball, there's that, and then there's wish, right? Like that's 3 different categories of magic. Obviously there's a lot more than just that, but like there's a few levels.
There's levels. There's layers.
Like an
onion.
Like an ogre?
No. We're getting in depth.
Sorry. The idea that I had was not everybody's going to have magic. Those that do, it's innate. It comes from within. But our main character is going to discover that he can steal magic from people. So, at some point, he's going to walk by a nobleman who has the ability to create flames with his finger, on his fingers, just like burning a match on his fingers. And our main character is going to steal that ability. So the nobleman can never use that ability ever again. And our main character now has that ability.
I want to throw in this caveat because I love it. It's from the series. It's called the Lycania series, and I fully don't get his magic system still, even after this is my 3rd time going through. But there are certain people. There's 2 different magics. One is light, one is dark. Basically, there's a very few that have this darker innate ability. But the point is, there's a time where one of our characters can shapeshift, and it turns out that he stole this power from another character. And the thing is he had to use it every single day, or it went back to that person. Now, hear me out. Imagine a thief that had that same sort of thing, that if they didn't use it, and honestly, it would be hilarious every time, every day. Imagine this wizard is every day has to be like, I have to cast fire. And he has so he's like, everybody's like, and he has to go through a list of like, oh, I got to clean my underpants. Like he has to like, those things of like, he has a limit. Like he has a time limit, because I feel like stealing essence, power, soul, that's a lot. And I feel like there has to be that's just my opinion, is like that's a lot. That's a lot. I
kind of want him to not have that limit, because I want him to be a villain.
Okay.
I want him to end up as the bad guy. There's not a lot of stories out there where we follow the bad guy.
So you want at the end, this will be...
He's the bad guy.
Okay.
He ends up as the bad guy.
All right. So I vote something happens to him near the end of Act 1. Mm-hmm. What makes him realize that he has this power, and why can he do it? That's my... I will agree to, if we're going full villain, then fine. Or I will say I vote that he can't hold on to the powers that long until something happens. Either he kills a certain wizard, he magnifies, because maybe he was a lower level, and his lower level is he can mimic like 1 or 2. And
I think at the beginning he isn't able to use magic at all. That's part of why he's on the street.
Okay.
Because I think magic should be not like rare, but rare enough that only 20% of the population has access to it. Maybe even 10 or 15.
I've always seen it like it's a trait, but also it's a talent. Mm-hmm. It's a trait and it's a talent. And also, you just have, if you get a mix of everything, you're fine. Like with, who we always talk about, Brandon Sanderson and Mistborn. Some people get to have only one, or you get all of them. Oh. Yeah, they were very overpowered in the first. I don't know. Anyway, that's a discussion we keep always having. My cousin says that we talk about Brandon Sando a lot.
We do.
Read it, Isaac. Do it. You
They're
won't.
worth it. They are worth it.
Worth it. Anyway. Okay. So our main character, what was the name that you said randomly at the beginning? Billy Bob or Joe Bob?
Joe Bob.
Joe Bob. We're calling him Job.
Job.
I really like the name Job, and honestly, with the Bible reference, just a twisted version of the tale, I really like it. I'm calling him Job.
He's the one who takes everything from from everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
He had everything taken away from him.
We could go with Job.
He had everything taken away from him, and he wants to get everything back twicefold, but he's gonna do it by force. And then at the end, at the end of the movie or the story, he won't say, "I don't want just twice much. I want
it all."
I want it all.
I think at the end we could end up with kind of a Lord Ruler kind of situation.
Yes, I very much am like, okay, we're getting a Lord Ruler, and then I need to see a silhouette of a. I need the scene I want at the end. I need him to look like he's been walking down. He's won everything, and everyone is kind of like bowing down to the Lord Ruler, and he'll look down very briefly, and a small gutter child will look up very briefly in defiance, and like look down, and he'll see it, he'll catch it, and the only reason why he doesn't snap is because
that was him.
That was him. But then I want us to know that character is going to be something more. Like that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's still a little bit of defiance, and he'll have a smile, and in his mind he'll be like, maybe that child will grow up, or maybe it was just something. I'll be sure to snuff it out when they're older, or I won't. We'll see. So like that. Ooh, I don't think we've ever talked about like a villain like this.
No, there is a kind of scene that I want where we will have the good guy, the protagonist, right? And this protagonist, this hero, is going to be hired by the nobility to track down this thief of magic who is taking their abilities. And this hero will come close to catching Job every now and again, but Job always slips away using some spell or something that he just stole. And then at the end, toward the end of the movie or the story, I want them to have their kind of final showdown, and I want Job to win. I want Job to
killing the protagonist, solidify him as the villain, that sort of idea. Yeah, that's immediately what I was thinking.
I want him to kill the hero, but first I want him to steal the hero's abilities. Which I'm thinking the hero's kind of kit would include a spell that's able to find people, kind of like Brass in Mistborn.
Yeah.
Right? Being a seeker. I want him to have that kind of ability. I want him to have an ability that makes him faster and stronger, kind of like Pewter. Gosh, I'm just writing Mistborn all over again. But no, I want him to have some sort of spell that creates light of some kind, whether that's just creating a ball of light that floats in the air, or it's a ball of fire, or it's like a spotlight. I think a spotlight could be kind of fun, because if it ends up as a movie, then you can play around with the spotlight.
I need. Okay, just bear with me with this one, because I'm imagining that. So what? Okay, I'm going to ask you for help of understanding, how does our character steal, and how does one defend themselves from this being? So why is he struggling? Because I want them to struggle. Why is he struggling to steal our protagonist's power? I'm imagining I am honestly imagining a noir detective, basically. I'm imagining some noir detective, kind of morally gray, but I'm imagining that
Kind of morally gray, but not really.
But no, like his armor, like, and I imagine it's armor. I don't know what hat. Like, I'm imagining the first hat I'm thinking of is the Soulborn hat. I know you probably haven't played Soulborn, not Soulborn. The one for only the PlayStation. And you guys are probably yelling at me. I haven't played that many. The only Souls game I've played is no TikTok, quiet. Is Sekiro. And you guys are probably like, oh, it's a good one.
I've never played any.
Yeah, they're great.
I think I'd get too frustrated.
Is it Bloodborne? I swear it's not Bloodborne. What is it? What is it? No.
I think like a tricorn hat could be kind of fun.
Is that
with a flower or not a flower?
The feather. That's exactly what I'm imagining. But let me.
That could be kind of cool. Kind of like Robin Hood's hat. A little bit.
Yes, it's exactly that. But I can't. Is it Bloodborne? Oh, it is Bloodborne. Okay. Wow. You guys are probably screaming at me. Let me see here. That's the main character.
Okay, yeah.
Now imagine a hat like that, but his essence is light. I'm imagining that he is kind of this light kind of hero, but I literally want him.
He's got a power that's kind of dark that he doesn't use until the final fight.
Hold on. Yeah, exactly. Or it really depends on how he is perceived or how he perceives himself.
Ooh.
But it will he'll be light, he'll be dark. So he literally will do things and we'll literally see him dim to gray. Like we will literally make the joke that this character dabbles in being morally gray. And we could have an instance where he did something morally gray, even dark, to our main character when he was young.
I kind of want them to be unconnected.
Unconnected?
Unconnected.
All right. Or at least maybe that could be the type of armor that they have. I don't actually know. Because I'm thinking the same thing. Me and you are in the same. This is why we have the thing. Same wavelength of when I want our hero to take the power, he goes, no. You don't get any light. You don't. And he will bleed darkness into our character, and that will solidify it. He'll I'll give you this blessing if this is the path you're going to go down, and it's going to just ooze out because this is how he perceives the main character and how he perceives himself kind of at the moment. Just the I can see it in video games. I can see it in stories, just the villain or our hero, no, and they slam and everything goes dark. And I would love that in the final fight, he just lets it out and our the thief goes, oh, this is actually kind of scary. I want it to be a fight that he is kind of scared about when our antagonist, when our gray character kicks the door down into what he wants, when he unleashes that darkness inside of him. I want him to be the lesson, and I want him to be a character that this villain will look back on and will always think about for the rest of his life until he's defeated again. That's the type of impact I want this. I'm actually getting more invested into this morally gray cop character now because we have made, in my opinion, some pretty awesome main characters, but I also think that we have made some awesome, the Death Slinger.
Yeah,
I
knew you were going to bring that one up.
He is probably my favorite antagonist we've made, hands down. But that's for another time. Watch that one. I'll try to tag it in there. But
it's a good episode.
It's a good episode. I really need to start recording these stories. Anyway, the point is, that's the kind of thing I want. If you really want us to follow and I love a good villain origin story, but I want a good one. Mm-hmm. What's the final nail in our coffin? I kept yammering. I'm so sorry.
I think the government system of this city would be. I know I'm jumping right into the boring stuff. I want it to be a mageocracy, right? So a mageocracy just means
is this literally just it's run by wizards?
it's run by magic, by people who have magic.
I was like, I have never heard this in my life. I was like, which government runs this?
A couple of the cities
Hogwarts.
In our D&D world are
Mageocracies. Is it Madrocracy or Mageocracy? Okay, just want to make sure.
It's run by those who have magic. Among the most powerful people who have magic. And so what I want it to be, what I want the story to kind of revolve around, at least main plot, main character
Job
discovers he has this ability. We have flashbacks to his family being executed because they spoke out against the mageocracy and they thought that other people should have power too, or they should have a voice. It's not, that it's not fair for them just because they were born without powers to be ruled by those who were quote unquote more fortunate.
Just because you have the ability to doesn't mean you have the right to do it.
Exactly. So it's kind of that. And I want Job to discover this ability. Maybe he's at a funeral for a friend, and this friend had the ability to create fire in their fingers. Or maybe not funeral, maybe at his deathbed. And he takes this friend's hand and takes the power by accident. And
so
then
is he
dies.
like Rogue? Is it going to kill these characters when he takes their powers?
No.
Okay. But does it hurt?
I think so.
And that's probably what could have.
I think that's
that will end the friend. Well, that will end his life, because if he's that weak,
if he's already sick, and then the extra pain.
So did this character have any known inherent power, or is it just kind of like no? His innate power is Leech.
His ability would be the ability to leech powers from other people.
But why would
I like the word leech because leeches hurt, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, why would he ever?
But why would he ever want a power if he? Why would he ever want it?
Why would he ever even imagine that that's something he had the ability to do?
And especially because his parents spoke out against it. These were people that have oppressed him. He was very fortunate to be friends with. And this could be, and since this friend had power, he was a, minor. He was, we want to go like high lords and
if
these
we're talking
ladies.
In terms of Mistborn, Job is Ska.
Yeah.
And this friend would be a super minor nobleman.
Yeah.
Like cousin to a lesser house kind of thing.
Yeah.
In one of the outer dominances.
Like he was an industrial worker. His only thing was he produced fire, which is pretty cool in theory, but he wasn't that strong. No. He was a level 1 when it came down to it.
Yeah. And I think Job would probably have some thought, maybe even say it to this friend, that he wishes that he had the power to change the world, to make changes in this city and change the way that things work. And that's when they could be
talking and he's like, if I could, you're like, maybe he's kind of going about like,
you're a love interest maybe.
Could be. Or I was thinking of, this character's down on his luck. Because who would give a job to someone? He does manual work, and that's just not enough in this day and age. Mm. And his buddy was doing a little better. And he's like, you're the lucky one. You're the one that gets to sleep forever now. And I'm still working. And he's like, well, if you could, you could definitely have this power if you wanted. And he like grabs his hand joking. And you're like, and if I could take it, I would. And snap. And there's a shock. There's the leech. And the Ben gasped, and he just like goes, and you're like,
"Oh crap!"
And I want it to be again
I want it
You
to
want
be a shock.
It's a shock. It's a villain story. It's not. It's supposed to be grounded, real-ish feeling. This isn't some like dramatic. There wouldn't be any swelling of music. They'd be joking. We'd have maybe like back. If this was a movie, it'd be background of like kind of them laughing and joking, and then just and the gasp is what cuts everything off, and the room is silent. The lights, and I would make it that the lights have dimmed. The lights have, this is the journey. The room was kind of bright. They had the windows open.
But now the vision has gone
snuffed out.
Yeah.
Something has been snuffed out, and it felt wrong. And he would sit there and be like, and he would kind of tell the family, like, and they would kind of, and no one would suspect a thing because they knew
he's on his deathbed.
he was on his deathbed. Something like cancer, or maybe it was because of like a black lung type thing because he worked where he did. Maybe he worked in the same warehouse,
or even plague.
Yeah, or just anything. Anything. So Job gets his first power.
Power by accident, and then
when does he realize? What does he do?
I think at that point, from that point onward, the next couple minutes would be him messing with it.
Well, would he discover
Fantastic Four style, right? Like he's
would he discover it right away? How would he know?
I think.
What would he do? Would he be at work? Would he be? I would want him to discover it, and how suspicious would it be? Because people would go, "You've been tested your whole life. You've never been able to produce the gift. Because why would leeching ever like produce anything? He was never actively doing anything." They'd ask him to do this, do that, and they would test. Or again, his parents were pretty against it. They were both like this. So they test him as a baby, whatever. So why would this person be hiding it? And no one's ever heard of leeching. Or have they?
Maybe leeching is an ability that they execute on site.
Or leeching is one of those that it's never been known to be like more than a couple minutes. And he might know that too, but he is a level 9 of leeching. His family has just been just been this dormant thing. It's the blood bending. The blood bending has just been twisted
his family
until
were nobles somewhere.
The leeching, but after a while,
that quote unquote noble blood in him.
Yeah, but it just turns into. But after a while, when the only thing you come about is leeching, you look like a squib from Harry Potter, and you just slowly go back. But this has been so dormant. Maybe one of his parents was pretty high, but he just won the genetic lottery with his 2 parents, and he is a level 9, or he's a high level in this thing. Not only does he take it, he takes it forever.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get dark and the person has to die.
I don't think they have to die. Maybe. No, I don't think they have to die. Maybe it's more he splits the power. So he takes half of it. And so they're sharing from the same pool. And if he kills the person, then he gets all of it. So it's weaker when he steals it for both of them until he kills them.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have a couple moments where there's something like that, where he starts by just going and he gets a job at the morgue, because who wants to work at the morgue? Who wants to work at an old folks' home where the noblemen are just always
he would
angry.
have to do connections, and he would I think
he'd get connections through that family, through that friend,
and work in they appreciate how he took care. Or you said a plague. He's helping with the plague.
Yeah.
How would he stay immune to he would take from a healer.
Take from a nurse.
A self-healer.
Yeah.
Someone who's generally known, and it would be awkward because they keep getting sick. They're like trying to heal themselves. Like they are always at 100% health. Always. But for some reason, they're 50% health, so they're always at 75% now. And slowly, with him always helping, maybe he can just keep leeching and leeching. I think the idea that morbid, if we're going to make him a villain, the morbid of if they are no longer here, he can take it forever. Like he for sure, if he wants to give it back, he can give it back. But I think the idea that he gets half right off the bat, like usually the leeching, I think the idea of it was like 10% and it would last a long time. Like they were used to helping. They could have been nobility of, at least they're not really nobility, but they helped find people's powers. They helped snuff out those who were lying about powers. They were
seekers.
They were power hunters. They would hunt those. They were the custodians. Who watches the watchmen? It was the leeches.
The Power Rangers?
So many references right there. But no, I think the idea that his family used to keep those in power in check.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were taken out.
I like that.
That could have been something. But he's gonna go from, but they could never keep the powers. They were just there they could take it for a couple minutes. He is taking half indefinitely, unless it just mutated over time. I think that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. That they used to be this policing force.
What if it was temporary, but he leeched the ability to leech from someone else?
He finds more leeches.
So that ability just grows.
Oh.
Maybe that's the real reason
maybe they still use leeches, but they keep them at bay.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to send... Do you want our detective to be a leech? Do you want him to also be a leech?
I think I do. Yeah.
I still want
that final battle could be on equal terms. They both have stolen each other's abilities.
They're constantly stealing.
Perfectly balanced because they're stealing each other's abilities. So they have 100% of both, or they have 50% of both sides.
But I want the officer to be better somehow. Like more
experience, more trained.
More experience, but what could be like imagine Azula versus Zuko. Zuko had more, he had, honestly, I would say by the end of it, his were more powerful and more colorful in a way, but he was more powerful.
I think more passionate. Azula
was precise, and she could lightning bend.
Yeah.
So what could be the thing of, so let's say Job can take, he can take half right away.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say our character takes everything for half a day or something like that.
Maybe it's scale. Maybe the more he takes, the less time.
The more he touches you, the more he has to keep touching you, and he can slowly steal. So that means, Job. I want to call, if we're going to keep Bible names, I want to call our detective Samson.
Okay.
Especially if he's going to be, I want to make him freakishly strong.
I'm imagining the detective noir kind of thing.
But he has long hair.
And he's got the long hair. And then during that fight, he like removes his cloak and he's just jacked. He's just absolutely yoked.
He's like, it could be funny because he thinks, let's say Job punches him and he takes but they only can take they have to think of what the power is. So that's why they keep their cards in check, because if I don't know what you have, so if I have a bunch of cards, he has a bunch of cards. So I would love that the idea that Job punches Samson and they both feel it and they both kind of do it like a calculation, and you feel, Samson takes, all of a sudden something just drains, the fire just completely drains from Job. Job has never been leeched in his life. And he goes, ah! Or when they, I need an accident when they bump into each other. And Samson already knows that he thinks that he's just a firebender. He just does fire. Maybe that's what he's notorious for right now, is the fire. And when he bumps into Samson when he's trying to leave one time, the fire just disappears. Because he's not thinking about leeching at the moment, but Samson was. And he takes away his fire. Like he's just sitting there with his hands opening, waiting for people to bump into him until he grabs. I don't know. I don't know why I'm loving this so much.
I love it. Yeah.
So I think I do want him. I think I want all the detectives to be leeches in a way, or at least the best of the best are leeches, or
the best
they're put down.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Either you work for us
or you get executed.
You get executed because you are like, what's the biggest insult? I want Samson to know that that's what he is. I want him to either be. So how long has it been since this Mageocracy? How long has it been in effect? Has it been long enough that Samson could remember, or at least he's close enough that he had stories? Like his grandfather used to be, like, did the leeches used to rule?
I think a couple hundred years makes sense. Kind of like the U.S. government. Like it's been around for a few hundred years, and it's always used leeches. They're just more in check now.
And that's
leeches aren't allowed to hold positions of power unless they're detectives.
Except there's one who's pretty high up, and it's Samson, because he's that scary.
Well,
he's that
but
good.
Samson's still a detective. He's not. I wouldn't say he's in the Mageocracy.
I don't think he's in the Mageocracy, but he is like he leads all of.
He'd be the equivalent of
head commissioner. I want him to be enough that honestly, he knows what they used to be, and I do want moments where the royalty looks at him.
He'd be the equivalent of a Steel Inquisitor to the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, except imagine that there's no Lord Ruler right now, and they've just got a bridle on the Steel Inquisitors, and they know that if that bridle were to ever break, I like the idea that they are Steel Inquisitors. I'm really liking the story, and I really think it's poetic. His name's. I'm keeping Samson. We went with the Bible, but the idea that he is the strong, leashed dog of theirs, I think is a poetic name to him being Samson.
I think to keep the poetry of his name, I think he has to die
bald.
No, he has to die by leeching strength. One of the maybe one of the abilities that Job has is he stole strength. So for a short time, he can become twice as strong or 3 times as strong. Kind of like a ferrochemist, where he just kind of stores up a little bit, like a meter, and then however fast he depletes it will depend on how strong he decides to get.
So are we saying that some wizards are just that they just have one affinity? Is they only have one?
I think a lot of them would have several, because they're able to unlock them, but they only have that set few. So maybe like 5 or 6 abilities.
I want Samson. This is why he's so
scary.
Scary is because he does have one power, along with the leeching, and that is that one is his. He has one that he also has, and that would be the light. Mm-hmm. I think that him being that light would be enough that when they try to bridle him, they still can't, though, because technically he is also a wizard. He's not just a leech. Yeah. He is a, I'm going to say this word, not in a swearing sense, but he's a bastardization in the sense. And that's proper use of that word in a way.
It is.
So that's the closest you're going to get to any swear word recorded.
I like that, but I need him to die by stealing the strength from Job, and then overextending with that strength and knocking over a building on top of himself.
Honestly, the idea
It's gotta
of him
be. It's gotta
tearing,
be that poetry.
they've both been that fight would be insane. That fight will topple. Sadly, I think that this fight will topple parts of the city. This will be catastrophic.
It needs to.
And when he falls, I want them to like be falling with this building. And when he goes to steal everything from Samson, broken, and we see the light kind of glowing from him, that's when I want Samson to go, no, no, no. If you're taking everything from me, I give you this, and he's gonna pour out everything. So if he takes his Samson's leeching completely, what would that do to Job's power?
I think it would make it
that it would kill people. I think that would be it.
I mean, it would, to put it again back into terms of D&D. I think it would go from, it deals a D6 of damage every time, which will kill a commoner.
He doesn't, or he doesn't even have to touch them.
It deals, I think he still has to touch them.
Okay, imagine
but
that.
It deals from a D6 to maybe like 10 D6 every time. So unless you are prepared and your body is strong, you're gonna die as soon as he touches you.
Imagine this. If he touches you, unless you're strong, it is almost instant death and power.
And powers are gone.
But I do think the idea that he literally can, let's say people come and they bring him subjects, and they bat like someone who's maybe too strong, all they have to do, that let's just say in a future installment, they bring someone forward and they have him bow in front, and like Lord Vader style, he is leeching from them at a distance. There's just a bubble.
Ooh.
Imagine just a bubble around this guy. Like, when the Lord Ruler steps out and everyone felt it. Like even Kelsier was like, he couldn't fight it. Yeah. And even Breeze was like, good gravy. This is the best I've ever remembered names ever. So, but
it's Mistborn.
It's probably, I think that shows you how much I loved Mistborn. I think it's my favorite one.
It's my favorite.
But yeah, that's a good character.
Yeah.
And I really like Samson.
I want part of his thing. I want, before that battle with Samson, I want Job to go and essentially magically assassinate. He's not actually killing them, but he's stealing the powers of the government leaders.
He's draining them to half. I do want him to take out one. I don't know why, but one needs to go out personally. He has a personal vendetta against one.
Yes.
Whether that be that it led the orders of, this is Ezio Auditore style. This is like, and it's not even like he was just the guy who apprehended his parents and brought them in. And now he is a, senior mage. Like he was, because I would imagine that it's not just leeches on the police force. I imagine they do have some mages.
Mm-hmm. They'd have mages, they'd have seekers, they'd have all sorts.
But the leeches
would be the equivalent of the secret service.
And they are not liked. Or at least they are. They're not liked.
Secret service.
They're and that's why I think Samson would have been the guy. Just I'm imagining him in just the Bloodborne kind of outfit, but it's this, and I still think that him controlling the light, and that would be the fun thing, is maybe no one really knows that he's a leech because he doesn't use it.
No, his main ability is the light.
But he,
and maybe that light we could draw from another Sanderson story. Maybe that light ability that he has is his seeker ability, taking it from Renarin, right? The Truth Watcher, being able to see the future and see the truth and see things in the light. Maybe when he uses the light, those who have powerful, like a magical connection, their shadows are pulled toward the light, and those who aren't are affected by their shadows are affected normally.
I would say it is literally, he is melding them. And I can imagine this character's eyes, they look over at him and you see his eyes almost like a blind person. They go, he's wearing the white and they only ever see him in the white, maybe a little bit of the gray at times. But let's say his eyes go fully white and his vision is leech lines of everyone. He can sense everyone, and the brighter their light is, the more powerful they are. Like, that's how he sees the world.
And so when he's fighting Job, it's
Job is a spotlight, and that's why Job is so pissed. He's like, how do you find me? Like, the light, and it's like, oh, I follow you based on your light. And that's what he says to everybody, and Job's like, no. No. And I imagine that they also have this thing where they have this weird sense of smell. They always like just smell things, and they both at one point stare at each other, and Job just goes, you're a leech, and just immediately and that's when he throws the fireball at him. Throws the fireball. No one else is around. It's like in some dark alley. It's a rainy day. Just something going, ooh. So what will be his final? What will be his title? We can't do Lord Ruler. I'm sorry.
No. I think, I don't know. Mage, the Mage King just sounds a little bit lame.
I want to call him Abyss or something like a hole, like something like sucking the power in. What is he? I don't want him to be like black hole, but I think
I think the Mage Abyss. The Mage Abyss, I think, would be kind of cool.
Abyss Mage Job.
I think at that point he's lost his name entirely.
He doesn't call himself by name. Okay, the Abyss Mage. Because we can't do the Void, because sorry, that was taken by...
Maybe the Mage Abyssal. I kind of want Abyss to be the second working title. I think honestly, I do like that. I think that's cool.
Okay, the Mage Abyssal. Yeah, he would be a scary villain. I think he's scary. And guess what, guys? We have him for the next time we make a story about who's going to fight him. So now when we're like, oh yeah, he's just going to fight the Mage Abyssal, you guys will be like, who's that? Well, you can watch this episode.
And now we can think about our Kelsier and Vin ripoff.
Oh, honestly, that was a cool character.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun, and I'm actually I am, to be honest, I really liked Samson. I think I got more invested in Samson. So
that was pretty cool.
That was a good. We haven't done that in a fat minute.
I know,
but honestly, we hope that you guys tell us what you guys think about that story. What would you do? Who would you put? Are there scenes that you're imagining in your head? I told you mine. Tim told us some of his. That was awesome. That was awesome. Good episode to start everything back up again. It's been a fat minute.
Yeah, that felt good. That felt really good to do that again. That was fun.
So I guess the question is, Tim, are you satisfied with your character?
I think I am.
There's nothing left? Nothing else?
No. I mean, I can imagine the setting. I can imagine.
Yeah, what? Oh, we'll just keep going. We'll talk about it another day, but really quick, though, I'm just imagining, seriously, just like some weird... I'm imagining it's just very dark, dreary.
I'm imagining a mixture...
Always raining.
That's what I was thinking. I'm imagining kind of a mixture of...
It's like Gotham.
I'm imagining a mixture of Luthadel and Gotham.
Yeah.
Just always rainy.
Honestly,
the tenements. It would be kind of more.
I'm imagining skyscrapers, age. But yet I want skyscrapers. I want
Mage
guns.
Towers.
I do want guns. I've been thinking about guns a few times.
Okay.
Just for some of the few who are there are the few rare normies who are just the grunts and they use guns. And guns are still pretty scary. I think that would be fun because I could see it growing, that the world is changing. Mm-hmm. So mages are still kind of scary, but guns are still guns are coming.
Maybe cannons, like smaller cannons.
Fine,
because that's kind of where we started, is the big cannons, and then we went, oh, we can put that in our hand.
I do think that there should be. I don't know. I'm just imagining that I just want Samson to have one. I don't know why. Okay, because I know why. Because it's Noir Detective. The thing is, I just imagine a powder box, and it goes off, and you see a wizard like they get clipped, but and I just imagine that because they're so strong, they get clipped by it, and they're just like, okay. Like, I want that to show a world that no, wizards are still pretty scary. Like, you can take out maybe minor ones if you surprise the wizard, you might get the mage, you might get away with it, but you run into anyone lower, you're going to shoot them, and it's going to be like superhumans. So that's why I think power box should work. So we can still see like the poor dregs of the city. They use those, they get mugged a lot, but we have, the officers come in, and
I want them to be older style, like it's
like a revolver.
It's a ball.
Yeah, no, I've been imagining a ball. I've been imagining a ball the whole time. No bullets. It's balls right now.
Ball, yeah.
But we could
in our next installment when we're following a different character.
It could be higher up. I would want to do like a 50-year leap, because just because he leeches power, he also leeches essence. So he is aging. He doesn't age.
Maybe one of the early ones that he takes was someone who ages slower.
Yeah.
And so his Inquisition hunts those people.
Yes, did we make a Lord Ruler type?
Kinda,
yes, we did.
Kind of.
And not very much.
Here's the thing, though. This story is distinct.
Yeah.
The kind of our magic system, the characters, the vibe. I mean, it's similar to Mistborn, but it is our own. It is.
I kept thinking about Bloodborne. I could think about so many stories. Mm-hmm. Again, we've talked about this all the time. Just because it has a similar taste or flavor doesn't mean you can't still enjoy it. Just because I take hamburger ingredients and turn them into a taco doesn't mean it's not going to be good. That sounds good.
There's a thing to be said about stories being similar and drawing connections between stories. Human beings, we all think similarly, and we have similar interests, a lot of us, and so a lot of our stories are going to be similar in tone, in moral, and such. A good example of that, actually 2 examples, the inheritance cycle, Aragon, is kind of a more medieval knockoff of Star Wars, if you look at it. Harry Potter is basically just Star Wars with sucky lightsabers, and we all want to go on stories. That. They're different stories. They're unique and they're all good, but they draw from similar places.
We took the hero's journey and we took it and we did the typical villain upbringing, the mob boss. I could probably think of a bunch of stories where we see, The Godfather, seeing the minor become the head of the family. Like, this is honestly though, this was a good one.
Yeah.
I like this one. So what is the name? What are you thinking? Because I honestly think I don't want to spoil his name in the title.
Leech.
Okay. That's kind of where I was going.
Leech.
The Leech Thief? No, don't want to put thief. There's too many thieves. We've done book thief, magic thief. Just
Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
just thieves. Stuff. So I think
Leech.
Yeah, Leech.
Or we could throw in Mage in there and be like the Mage Leech or Leech Mage.
I think the Mage Leech. Because that could be the name that people call him.
Yeah.
Is the Mage Leech. So.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, the Mage Leech. I will put that in our title. So, well, before I pass it off to Tim, thank you, everybody. I will try to get this out as soon as possible. And it feels good. And hopefully next time we record, there will be better sound stuff so we're not so echoey, but still, I'm excited. We've moved. And yeah, summer's coming and it's been great. So thank you guys for all of you who listened to us. And we actually had, on the last episode, Tim, there were more people that listened than watched.
Nice.
Like, I'm talking like almost 100 listened.
Thank you guys.
So
A lot.
yeah. So just a few of it. So yeah, thank you everybody. And Tim, leave it to you.
I had a lot of fun with this episode.
Oh, it felt so
It
good.
was, it felt very nice to kind of get back into it. So I don't have anything else to add. So yeah, and you guys know the drill. Just love each other, be kind, and remember, just because it's dark outside doesn't mean you can't see the way forward. And until next time, we'll see you later, pitches.
Bye.